Hey guys, it's Princess 3X, and today I am filming a video on my webcam, which is why if I look down at the screen, it's on my MacBook. And I wanted to film this on my webcam because I wanted to get it up, and I felt like if I tried to record with my DSLR or even my iPhone that I wasn't going to put it up because it wasn't, I don't know, it's just more difficult that way. And right now I don't have a filming setup because I am in between apartments and houses currently, so that is why I'm filming on my webcam today. And today I want to talk about a very um, interesting subject, I guess, for my channel because I normally don't talk about things like this, and that is being vegan. So today I'm talking about how I went vegan, why I went vegan, how I feel about being vegan a month in, because I am a month into being vegan at this point, or I will be in like 2 to 3 days, and all of that information because I wanted to share it with you guys and I thought it was important. So I'm going to talk about first, I have a list on my computer, which is why I'm looking there, why I went vegan. In the past few months, even before I was vegan, I was trying to figure out a way to lose weight and get healthy and all of that, and I had just graduated college and I just wasn't very happy with how I felt about myself. So I started doing crash diet after crash diet after crash diet, and it wasn't working. Nothing was sticking. I wasn't losing any weight, and I was miserable because I was counting calories and I was just having like I wasn't eating healthy, even though I was like counting calories, and I was drinking meal replacement shakes and all of this crap that just was not doing me any good. So I started doing research and I found all of these amazing people on YouTube who were talking about being HCLF vegan and how they lost all of this weight, and it took a while, but like it was worth it in the end, and they feel so much better and all of that. So I decided at that point that I wanted to go vegan. I started off following HCLF vegan really closely, and to this day, even like at the end of the month, I'm still trying to do HCLF vegan as much as I can, but for the most part I'm just doing veganism in general. I'm not paying as much attention to HCLF, but I'll talk about all that later. So I did go vegan for primarily health reasons. I didn't want to count calories anymore. I wanted to feel better about what I ate and how I felt about my body and myself, and I wanted to have a diet that wasn't just going to make me drop weight. I wanted something that was going to counteract all of the health issues that I already have. Aside from the health reasons, I'm also doing this for environmental reasons and for the animals, because this happened after I went vegan, a few days after I went vegan. I watched so many documentaries on factory farming and the agriculture business and how animals are treated in factory farms and the damage that it's doing to our environment and our ecosystem and all of that, and I just didn't want to be someone who was contributing to that. I feel like I cannot say that I'm an animal lover and a plant lover and all of that and still contribute to that business. So those are the reasons why I went vegan. If anybody feels like they need to know or want to know, I don't think it's important why I went vegan, but that is why. So how I went vegan, I get so many questions even from people that I know that are like, how are you dealing with that? Like, are you unhappy? Like, does it suck? Like, it must suck or whatever. And it really doesn't at all. And I think that's the most surprising fact to people. So I used to eat meat, obviously, if I'm talking like I've only been vegan for a month. And I essentially went cold turkey, for lack of a better term, when I went vegan. So a lot of people who are vegan or transitioned into being vegan from being meat eaters suggest that people who consume a lot of meat just slowly take that out of their diet. So, if you eat red meat, then slowly stop eating red meat and only eat white meat, like chicken and turkey, and then cut that out and only eat fish, and then slowly just drop the fish. And maybe if you can't do that, start with using meat alternatives, that like vegan meat alternatives. But I felt that if I did it that way, that if I just slowly cut it out and I started using meat alternatives and things like that, that I would slowly transition back into eating meat, and that it'd be pointless essentially. So I went cold turkey. I did not use meat alternatives. I didn't slowly transition out of eating meat. I just stopped eating it. I didn't consume it at all. I didn't want to consume it at all. I didn't want to use meat alternatives that would lead me to craving meat again. And about a week, week and a half in, I stopped craving meat. And I had a bite of, like, my mom had cooked steak and I just had a bite because I was like, okay, well, maybe, you know, maybe this will taste really, really good. I don't know what I was thinking, but I just thought I should try it or whatever. And I had it, and I realized in that moment that I was eating it, I was like, this was not as good as I had hyped it up to be in my head. And it was chewy, and I was like, this is just not as amazing as it used to be. Like, it's not that great. And same goes for chicken. And I was just like, it's not what I hyped it up to something that it just wasn't in my head. So now that I'm fully vegan, I will eat veggie burgers and chicken patties sometimes, or like chicken tenders, but I don't eat them that often. I try not to consume them that often because I don't like to eat a lot of soy products because of the bad health effects that a lot of soy can give you. You can read up on that separately, but I try to avoid meat alternatives as much as I can. So my diet mostly consists of grains, carbs, veggies, fruits, and all of those in different forms and different dishes, things like that. I also try to avoid frozen foods as much as I can because I don't know, I don't like the idea of like preservatives and things like that. So I try to avoid that as much as I can, but I do, like I said, occasionally indulge in those things if they're vegan. I also mostly cut out soda. So I do occasionally drink soda. I am having a can of Pepsi right now. But I try to consume as much water as I can. I try to mostly drink water with things. This is my water bottle that I love with my life. It was such a cheap water bottle. It's by Mana, and it's just a plastic water bottle. I used to have a metal one, but it didn't clean as much as I liked it to, so I bought this one, and this is what I'm using. Works really well, holds a ton of water, so I just constantly fill this up and keep it with me at all times, pretty much. And so when I go out to eat, I will order water or just keep whatever water's on the table. I try not to order soda when I'm out, so it'll be water or tea, and even tea I don't drink a lot because of all the sugar that's in it. And I don't drink alcohol as much as I did when I was in college. I try to avoid it as much as I can. I also just don't enjoy alcohol as much as I think I used to, so I try to cut that out as much as I can. I really only indulge on like the weekends, and even then it's only like every couple weekends or something. What else? I have a list on the side, so that's what I'm looking at. I don't consume honey. I consider honey to not be vegan. I know vegans are sort of like, I feel like vegans are split on this issue. So some vegans consume honey, some vegans don't, because they consider it to come from a bee, and a bee to be an animal, or an insect to be an animal. So I personally don't think honey's vegan, and I also think bees need to be protected because, you know, if all the bees die out, we're screwed. So I don't consume honey. I don't really like the taste of honey anyway, so that wasn't a hard thing for me to cut out. I usually use maple syrup, pure maple syrup, or just regular sugar. And I try to not use regular sugar as much as I can, so that's sort of cut out as well. For milk or dairy products, whatever, I use Earth Balance as my butter, and I try not to consume that as much as I would normal butter. I try to only use it on like toast and like the rare occasion that I need butter. And for milk, I drink almond milk, and I use almond milk in my cereal, in my oatmeal, in my coffee, all of that. I'm using almond milk because that is what I was drinking before I was vegan, since I'm lactose intolerant. And that's what I'm used to. That's what I like the taste of, so that's what I'm drinking. About 2 to 3 weeks into being vegan, I started taking supplements. So this isn't completely necessary for going vegan. You don't have to take supplements. You don't have to invest in supplements. I don't want to preach this as something that I know a lot about, because it's not something I know a lot about, but I did do quite a bit of reading and tried to pick supplements that I thought were right for my body. So I'm going to tell you guys what I take, but don't just take what I take because that's what I take. I did research and all of that to figure out what I needed to take for my body. Consult a doctor, do what you need to find what's right for your body. This is what I'm taking. So currently I use Care Of as my supplement regimen thing. I will leave a link to Care Of below if you want to sign up. It's really great, and you can get 50% off your first month. So my care of supplements that I take monthly or daily are one 250 milligram pill of rhodiola, one 250 microgram pill of B12, one veggie omega-3 pill, which is 515 milligrams of algae oil, 300 milligrams of omega-3, and 180 milligrams of DHA. And then outside of the care of subscription, I got a bottle of iron tablets, and I take one 65 milligram pill of iron every day. So my mom is a nurse. I consulted her with these things, and she thought all of them were a really great idea since I'm vegan now. You can have a really nutrient-dense diet and take things that are fortified with B12 and eat a lot of iron in different ways. But instead of focusing on doing that and really trying to control my diet, which is why what I'm trying to break out of is having all of this control on what I'm eating, I decided to take supplements instead, and I feel great. So the effects of going vegan and how I feel a month later. So I have lost weight since being vegan. And I don't want to be someone who measures my success on a scale. I think that's in itself pretty harmful, but I wanted to see if the scale was matching how I felt a month later. And so I have lost 5 pounds since being vegan in the first month, which is pretty great. And that's with 0 exercise. So I'm not exercising right now. I do aerial yoga every so often, but I'm really not exercising. Starting next week, I'm going to be exercising a lot more. I'm trying to deal with the new work schedule, so I'm trying to figure that out alongside exercising. So once I can figure that out, I will be exercising a lot more. And I think once I start doing that, I will feel amazing. But yeah, I have lost weight despite not exercising at all. So that's amazing. And then as far as how I feel, because people always ask me that, they're like, well, how do you feel about being vegan? Like, how has it made you feel? And the best way to describe how I feel is just that I feel lighter. So I just feel healthier. I don't feel bogged down. I have way more energy than I had before being vegan. And I hear that that's due to if you eat a lot of fruit, because you're getting all that natural sugar that's not making you crash all the time, and you're eating a ton of veggies. You're not eating foods that are going to make you crash or make you feel like you need to sleep or whatever. So I have way more energy. I feel so much better. And I also feel better stomach and health-wise. So like I said, I had a lot of stomach issues and heartburn and things like that. So I don't have stomach issues at all anymore. I haven't experienced stomach pain or anything since being vegan. I'm digesting my food so much better, which is so great. And that's a noticeable difference for me. And I very, very rarely experience heartburn. It's usually only when I drink soda, which is I should probably stop, but Pepsi is my one true love, so I haven't stopped yet. I haven't experienced any heartburn when I'm drinking water all the time, so that's pretty great. And just in general about how I feel mind-wise, I guess, I feel better and more mindful about what I consume. So rather than feeling guilty about everything I eat, like I did before I was vegan, I don't really care now if I eat a bag of chips or if I have some chips with a meal or if I eat dessert. Like I had Ben & Jerry's non-dairy ice cream the other day and it was amazing. Or if I have a cookie or a piece of cake or something, I don't feel so guilty. And I think that's the biggest difference for me is just before I was vegan, I felt like super guilty about any time I would eat junk food or fast food or anything. I would feel so guilty. But now I don't feel guilty if I indulge a bit because I know that for the most part, what I'm eating is full of good ingredients. Like, just to show you guys what I picked up yesterday at the farmer's market. I have not eaten yet. This one's a mess, but I'm going to have some of this today. I got some vegan treats. So these are 100% sprouted grains, and they're all 100% vegan. They're homemade from a vegan girl that sells at the farmer's market. They're amazing, and I want to eat this chocolate donut right now, but I'm going to hold off while I finish the video. And I also got carrot cake, which again looks destroyed, but this is carrot cake that has almond and cashew cream on top and figs. So once again, 100% sprouted grains. It's from the same seller. So I got those. So those are obviously got really good ingredients in them. I'm not worried about eating these. I know that they have good ingredients. I'm not eating anything that's processed or crazy processed or anything. And that's really comforting to me. And even if I do eat something that's crazy processed, like my current obsession is Lay's chips, the original flavor, I know that for the most part it's being balanced out by everything else that I eat that's good. So most of my diet is whole vegetables and fruits and grains and things that are healthy that I know how to pronounce the ingredients in them. And so I know that if I'm eating that 80% of the time, then the other 20% where I'm eating crap is not going to matter. Because even when I'm eating crap, it's not containing dairy or eggs or meat products or anything like that. That's not good for me. So yeah, that is how I went vegan. That is why I went vegan. That is how I feel about being vegan a month later. I feel amazing, and I'm in it for the long haul, and I am very excited about being vegan now. And I've talked to a lot of people who are vegan, and vegans are so great, and they're so supportive, and a lot of people have this idea that a lot of vegans are pushy and mean and cruel to, like, meat eaters or whatever. The rest of my family are not vegan, so for me, being vegan, I'm vegan for myself, and I hope that by making this video, I will be able to convince other people to be vegan. But if I can't, do you live your life, and I will keep living mine, and that is how I feel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about being vegan, I'm by no means an expert, but leave them in the comments, and I hope I will give you an answer that you're looking for. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you didn't mind that it was on a webcam. And until my next video, which will be a summer lookbook that I'm very excited about and have been planning out, I will see you guys later.